Start stream. And we should be live. Is it working now? Okay, stream should be live. Let me get YouTube open up on my phone to look at chat to see how many Dystoira supporters we have here. We'll get to in the second of day 2. We're still waiting for all the battlers to join. Okay. Do that. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. And we should be live. But anyways, hello everybody, it is me, your host, Fanta Marshall, for the Dystoria, aka announcement of the battles. So, let me give a recap for those who haven't watched the world of day 1. So,
myself muted. Do I want to put this way?
Wait, hold on.
let me just go away.
I hope we don't have any sub.
Let me just go all the way over here actually. So anyways, as I was trying to say, so here's what happened in yesterday's tournament. Cobblemon Dystoira scored 1 point, while Cobbletwo has 4 points for day 1. So we'll now see how day 2 goes. We have some new faces here for battlers. We have some old ones if you can recognize. We have Vika over here, the Ice Type gym leader, Green Pixel from yesterday that scored Cobblemon Dystoria the 1 point. Patches. We have the substitute in for the battlers, okay, the water type gym leader, Shadow DA. And we have a new face on the electric type gym leader, Riven. So that's who we have so far for Cobblemon Dystoria side. We also do have one person where is, I don't know where he is. We have another substitute. I think he's at spawn. Let me check. Can I do TP? No, TP I can only do. Yeah, there's the substitute is somewhere. I do not exactly know where he is. Let me just TPI to solver. Say hi to the people from the Goldango can't read. But now we're gonna go off to the coin toss. And Saint got killed, so that's who I forgot. Goldango is hitting. We shall see. Tiles. Now Goldango's hitting again. 3 times also in a row is apparently happened. Tiles once again, 4th time in a row. Tiles once again. Hates. Goldango's one hit hates. Well, tails. Hates is singles, tails is doubles. TPA in case he's not in the battlefield because I do not know where he is. Okay. Oh yeah, we also have a special guest today. Internetus. But tiny. Gigantamax. That's a special guest, that's it. Oh, that's why I talk to them if they can stop running. Ask them how they're feeling now if we all win this time.
Choose your character.
Choose your battle alert. Now we'll see who the Dystoria will pick. Scientist was ready with the troop. And so, Dystoria looks like they're choosing Sainted. Dystoria's picked
Before I'm
Saint.
not gonna see it. Or
We'll
shouldn't
see
it.
who Cobbletwo will pick. But first we have team preview. In the meantime, while we wait, we'll ask everyone how's they're feeling today. Hello Dystoria, how are you all feeling today? Well, with sleepiness we might win.
Your team is good to go.
And looks like Cobbletwo has picked Curry Villager. Now we just wait for Saint and Curry Villager to send their Poké Paste. And then we'll see what Pokemon they have. Because they'll send it in the Discord server that we are having for this. Okay, something's right here. Now we just wait and I'll stand here so I can start spectating the battle. Doing my announcer duties. First well, we'll sacrifice now Shadow. New snakes. Okay. announcing the battle. And looks like purchases for well, we have someone died, that's fine. Let's guess what these things will happen. And now Saint is heading up. And now he stopped the game. I got my one sounds up, but music. Just want to make sure I have everything ready. You know, I checked earlier, but you know, always gonna be double, triple. What's the word for it? Extra sure. Let's all check what's happening. And sure, the AI has hit the ground again. Who knows if it's okay then? We'll never know. And the team previews are posted in the general. So I'll quickly take a look on the people's teams. If oh my goodness, if the poker paste will load up at least. Okay, we don't know the movesets it looks like, but we know. So here is what Saint has on his team. But he has Zygarde, Popolele, Ironmoth, Zapdos, King Gambit, and Ferrothorn. And then we'll look at Curly Villager's team. Actually, I should maybe make it a thing where I bring up the poker paste, actually. Let me do that. Let me quickly fix something here, y'all. So I can show the poker paste. For those who are watching at home. Add that. Boom. Boom. Automatic. Windows and 10 up. Window capture. Transform. But here's what I basically here's what Curry has and Saint. These are their teams. Now we'll get into the battle aspect. Hello Vika, welcome to the stream. I'll see you over there. And now the match will begin. I think it's hard to keep track of me. Also, hello there, Nightly. And also, hello everyone else who's in the stream. Lurking, for those who are welcome to this Dystoira stream, and thank you for being here. For this tournament, and for this tournament for day 2. Quicksilver, use all your money you have. Oh, stop. Stop. This. Quicksilver. Is that Spyglass? As we all can see here, Saint pulled up in the drip with Archie's Anchor from Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. Then with a Zika Sora, I do not actually recognize because I do not know all the series, okay? So I decided he's not going to use the fancy new Omnibracer, he's going to roll in style with this fit. And now we wait. In the meantime, let's show from Groudon. Oh, that's it. And now the match begins. And Saint starts off with 10% Zygarde form, and Terry starts off with Mew. We shall see what the movesets they have here, because when we check the Pokébase, we obviously know they didn't have any what moves they have. We only know their abilities, that's it. Now, either Saint here has a common moveset for Zygarde 10%, I feel like would be Dragon Dance, Extreme Speed, or 1000 arrows, right? But nope, Saint switches out into King Gambit instead, and Mew sets up the Stealth Rock on Saint's side of the field. And now Curry is scanning King Gambit for his Pokédex. And Mew is also setting up now spikes on Saint's field. King Gambit uses knockoff and it kills Mew in one shot. And now Charizard comes out. This can be either Mega Charizard Y or X. Who knows? We'll see. If this is not a Mega Charizard, then it would be a regular Charizard then. And now King Gambit goes back, and Zapdos comes out. And Charizard Mega evolves into Charizard X. Charizard X uses Substitute. It takes itself a bit, but it also puts up a good substitute to protect it for the next couple of turns. ICVP. Okay. Now the question is here, will Saint switch back out to Zygarde, but would he risk it for the outright skill that might come with a Dragon Claw? No, Charizard now uses Dragon Dance to increase its attack and speed, and Saint uses, Zapdos uses Defog to get rid of the hazards. And now Charizard uses another Dragon Dance. Now Zapdos uses Volt Switch. The substitute took some damage. Although Charizard having two D-dances up, it might be trouble here for Saint, unless he has something that can outspeed it. But he's also got to take care of the substitute. Now saying Zapdos goes back and Zygarde comes out, with its ability Aura Break activating. Aura Break is the fix up aura abilities are reversed to lower the power of affected moves. That's how it works. Now we'll have to see what Saint has in mind here. Because as you can tell, the pin's a little bit messed up because the Dragon Dance stats are supposed to go over here to Charizard, so we gotta do this basically. So that's +2 in Charizard X attack and speed right now. I'm still live for the content dog. Well, we'll see what they do here. Saint is probably trying to figure out how to, counter the Charizard X. I'm surprised Charizard gets substitute. Because only option here is, since he has the Z-Ring on, one of his Pokemon has a Z-Crystal. But Zapdos hits the field again, and Charizard uses Earthquake, but it's immune to Zapdos. Now Charizard uses Fire Punch, that does a decent damage on Zapdos, and Zapdos gets the burn. Zapdos lands another Volt Switch, which breaks the substitute. Zygarde comes back out on the field, uses extreme speed, it does decent enough damage on Charizard X. But Zygarde gets killed by Charizard X's Earthquake. Saint has 5 Pokemon left. Now King Gambit comes out and its ability Supreme Overlord activates. Now for the time for the good old mind games here. Either King Gambit will have Sucker Punch, or Curry Villager will try and Mind Trick Saint to go for a Dragon Dance probably. And now Curry Villager is using a Spyglass trying to spy on Saint. Because why that I can counter is I'll put up a substitute in case King Gambit has Sucker Punch. Like a try, yep, I put up another substitute. And King Gambit goes for knockoff, and the substitute goes away. Now Charizard's on 11% health, so I cannot do another substitute unless it regains health. One way I can regain health is if it has Roost. As I already showed all the movesets, and it has Substitute, Dragon Dance, Earthquake, and Fire Punch. And King Gambit goes for Sucker Punch, but it fails. Charizard sets up another Dragon Dance. The Mind Game Shoro goes Stronio. And now Charizard sets up another Dragon Dance. And King Gambit goes for a knockoff, and Charizard is out. Now Curry has 4 Pokemon left. Now Curry brings out Tapu Koko, who sets out the electric terrain. And Saint switches back out of King Gambit into Tapu Lele, which now sets up the Psychic terrain with getting rid of the electric terrain. Now Tapu Koko sets up on the Reflect. This might be stupid, but I think Tapu Lele is the one who has the Z move if he's winning the Z ring. But we'll have to see what Saint does. Tapu Lele uses Psychic. It does a good decent amount of damage on Tapu Koko. Is Tapu Koko's move gonna go? Or am I lagging now? Everyone seems to be moving fine. Oh wait. Is Tapu Koko holding a Z crystal? I can see that. No, that's part of it. Nope, that's part of its skin, it looks like. And Tapu Koko uses Volt Switch on Tapu Lele. And now, Porygon, I don't know which Porygon it is, 2 or C, I think. Well, that Porygon comes out, I forgot the name of it, okay? But it does like a decent amount of damage from the Psychic from Tapu Lele. Now, one more Psychic could possibly kill Porygon too. I don't know which Porygon it is, okay, guys? If someone can let me know, please, that would be useful. Let me just ask. Oh, Tapu Lele goes for its Z move. It uses all-out pummeling, and that kills Porygon. And now Curry Villager has 3 Pokemon left. And Saint still has 4 left. And now Superior enters the field. Curry Villager, who has Superior. And now Curry Villager is asking Saint, are they feeling very lucky right now? Either Superior here is gonna have its hidden ability, most likely, and will be choice picks, in my opinion. And now Superior is looking at me menacingly, and flipped its head off, giving me a side eye. And now Saint brings out Zapdos again. Zapdos tanks the Leaf Storm but dies to the burn. Now Saint has 4 Pokemon left. And now with Superior's hidden ability from the Leaf Storm, its special attack increases by 2. Saint brings out Iron Moth, and its boosted energy activates with its quick charge that increases its speed. One hit from Iron Moth here could possibly kill Superior. Both challengers are thinking very hard on what to do next now. Because if I do the calculations correct, maybe Iron Moth could most likely kill Superior here if I'm working it out correct. Because I mean it already outspeeds it. Unless Superior has Dragon Pulse. But still, it's probably choice picks with Leaf Storm, like I said. And Iron Moth goes for a Sludge Wave, but Superior tanks it. Superior uses Hidden Power, Water, and that kills. Or Hidden Power Ground, I don't know which one, because that kills Iron Moth in one shot. Now Saint has 3 Pokemon left. Because what Hidden Power was that? The pin it doesn't say, it says it's Hidden Water Power, but... Hmm? Mm-mm. My mic was muted, as I was trying to say. Saint brings out Ferrothorn. And now, not Ferrothorn, Superior sets up a substitute, and Ferrothorn sets up Stealth Rocks on Curry Villager side of the field. Superior uses Leaf Storm, but it does not do lots of damage, but does increase its special attack. And Ferrothorn uses Gyro Ball, which does make Superior's substitute go away. Luckily, Superior heals a bit from its leftovers. Superior uses a Leaf Storm, but it misses. Curveball uses Gyro Ball, and Superior's out. Now 2 Pokemon left on Curry Villager side, and 3 on Saint. Now, Coco enters the field once again, getting hit by the Stealth Rocks, but also setting up the electric terrain. Saint switches out and brings back in Topo Lily to bring out his Psychic terrain once again. Now Topo Coco sets up Light Screen. And Topo Lily uses that. Topo Coco uses Dazzling Screen. I got it wrong, sorry y'all. Psychic hits Topo Coco. It still survives on 6% HP. Topo Lily gets switched out back into Ferrophone. Ferrophone tanks the Dazzling Gleam. And that Dazzling Gleam was a critical hit. Topo Coco gets switched out into Alucha, a Shiny Edition. Alucha gets hit by a Gyro Ball. And then Topo Coco comes back out once again and dies to the Stealth Rocks. Now Curry has 1 Pokemon left. And the Psychic terrain disappears from the battlefield. Now Alucha comes out and survives on 12 HP. It can kill Ferrophone here, but Ferrophone will most likely have Iron Bulbs, and so it will die here, giving Saint to win. We shall see what will happen. Alucha uses Close Combat on Ferrophone. Ferrophone tanks it. And its defense gets lower and gets hurt by the Iron Bulbs. And Alucha's out. At 1 point to Dystoria for day 2. And now we wait for what will be the next round. It will either be singles or doubles. Either that or we'll let Goldango do the coin flip. Well, are you all ready to sacrifice Shadow again? Never mind, I guess he already sacrificed himself. So keep sacrificing yourself so we can win. Now we wait for what Cobbletwo will pick. And Cobbletwo looks like Cobbletwo is picking singles.
By the way, there's no point for you guys typing single.
And now Nope, wait, I thought I picked Fractious, I'm wrong. We'll wait and see who Cobbletwo picks.
Nice, okay. Let's go.
And Cobbletwo picks Skill Charge.
Send me your Pokébest. And if you know how to cover some stuff up.
And looks like Dystoria's picked Factious Guy for this round. Let's see how Factious does different from yesterday's round where he lost. Will he get us Dystoria another point? We shall see. Now we first wait for them to send their replays in the Discord. And when they send that, I'll look at it and show you all what mods they have. We'll not know their abilities though. Okay, now looks like the team replays have been sent. So let me get out that screen again of it. Let me just do this. Or I will restart the window capture. No, that's Discord. So first up, I don't know which team this is, but here we have, we don't know what the movesets are or the abilities, or okay, we know the abilities, but not the moveset or items. So we have Blissey, Momo, Scizor, Tapu Koko, Landorus, Varian, and Goldango. And looks like the battle has started. Nope, never mind, someone else just sent out their Pokemon from its Winnie. And then we have Factious team, which is. Why did it stop now? Excuse me. We're having some technical difficulties here on OBS, folks. No, that's the wrong one. Now we have Factious team here over most likely. Landorus, Varian, Ogrepon, Wellspring, Tapu Koko, Heatran, and Iron Valiant. That's what Factious team is. And looks like Scientist also has a Wooper on him. I feel like giving me PTSD with shiny Woopers about one. And now both challengers have decided their leads. Now we wait for the match to begin. And Factious leads off with Landorus, and so does Killy Drive also. It's a Landorus fight. It's a Landorus fight here, but one is small and one's bigger. Oh wait, I got it on the other side. Looks like we might be having some technical difficulties here once more. Skill drives Landorus. Variant form does not have the ability Intimidate. Landorus's other form has Intimidate, so we just gotta wait first for them to fix that, then we can do it again with same leads. In the meantime, enjoy the special show from Gigantamax Shiny Ternatus. We pushed silver a bit. Sang comes in and he's now the size of a child. And he drops ability capsules or patches. So we can get that Landorus ability fixed. I think ability capsules will work on it. We're gonna have to do the command for it. I don't even know where Scan is in all of this. He's watching from somewhere. Probably up there in a Crazy Mode Dusk statue.
Pineco.
So let me turn on my full bright. Forgot that them off. I can make it more beautiful. And now Landers keeps changing forms, yelling at us. Okay, hopefully that's now fixed. Now they have installed over the same leads. If they were doing that. Now the match begins officially. And as we both know, both leads off with Landresses, both attack stats get lowered by 1 because of their Intimidate ability. Skill Driver's Landress sets up Stealth Rock. Factious Landress uses U-turn, gets hit by the Rocky Helmet from Skill Driver's Landress. Factious brings in Ogre upon Wellspring. Ogre upon Wellspring gets hurt by the Stealth Rocks. Well, I should just say Ogre upon instead of Wellspring to make it easier. Landress comes back, and Scissor hits the field. Ogrepon sets up a sword stance. And looks like Scissor is holding its Mega Stone, so we're about to see Mega Scissor here. Yes. And Landress comes out once again. Intimidate goes on Scissor. Scissor Mega evolves. Now Scissor uses knockoff, but it does not do that much damage on Landress, but Landress does lose its Rocky Helmet. Okay, Landress uses U-turn, but it's not very effective on Scissor. And now Factious brings out Topukaku, who sets up the electric terrain. And Scissor uses sword stance to get its attack a bit back up to its regular style. In fact, and Topokoko uses Thunderbolt that does 60.63 damage on Scissor, but Scissor uses Roost to heal itself again. And now Skill Drive brings back out Landorus, and Topokoko's attack fell. Topokoko tries to use Thunderbolt, but Landorus is immune to it. Now Factious brings out Ferrophone. Landorus uses Stone Age, but it's not very effective. Ferrophone heals from the leftovers. And now Komodo hits the field. Ferrophone uses Leech Seed on Komodo. And the electricity disappears from the field. And now Topokoko hits the field once again with the electric surge coming on. Komodo uses Flamethrower, which does decent damage on Topokoko, but Topokoko heals from the Leech Seed. And now Komodo goes back, and Goldango hits the field, taking damage from the Dazzling Gleam, but it's not very effective. Now Factious swaps Topokoko out for Heatran, hits the field, takes damage from the Stealth Rocks, and from a Shadow Ball, but Heatran heals from its leftovers. Goldango gets swapped out into Blissey. Heatran uses Magma Storm, but it misses. Now Heatran uses Protect, and Blissey tries to use Thunder Wave, but it fails. And the electric terrain has disappeared from the battlefield. Heatran uses Toxic, and Blissey uses Thunder Wave. Now Blissey is poisoned, and Heatran is paralyzed. Blissey does take damage from the Toxic. Now Blissey uses Heal Bell to heal its poisoning. And unfortunately, Heatran tried to use a move, but it was paralyzed. Blissey uses Seismic Toss that does decent damage on Heatran. Heatran now sets up a Stealth Rock on its side. Not on its side, on Blissey's side. On Skill Drive side. And now Blissey goes for another seismic toss, which does decent damage on Heatran. Heatran goes for Magma Storm, and it hits Blissey. Now Blissey will take overtime damage from the Magma Storm. Heatran goes for Protect, and Blissey goes for Seismic Toss, but it does not work. And now Blissey uses Seismic Toss. Heatran takes more damage, and Heatran uses Toxic. And now, Iron Valiant hits the field. And Blissey uses Thunder Wave. And now, Ferrothorn comes out once again on the field, and Blissey gets swapped out, and its ability activates, getting rid of the poison, and Goldango now also hits the field. Both do take damage from Stealth Rocks though. Goldango uses Shadow Ball on Ferrothorn. Ferrothorn takes a bit of damage from it. Ferrothorn uses Knockoff, and Goldango loses its choice picks and a bit of itself. And now Goldango uses Recover to heal itself. Ferrothorn uses Knockoff again, but it does not do lots of damage this time. And now Goldango uses Tricks and switches items with Ferrothorn getting its leftovers. And now, Ferrothorn uses Knockoff by getting rid of Goldango's leftovers it just acquired. And Thatcher switches Ferrothorn into Tapu Koko, and then they switch the reins on the field. Goldango uses Recover. And now Landorus hits the field once again. And Tapu Koko uses Hidden Power, Water or Ice that kills Landorus in one shot. And now, Skill Drive has 5 Pokemon left, and Thatcher still has 6 Pokemon left also. And now Blissey comes back out again on the field. But it does take damage from the Stealth Rock. And now Iron Valiant comes out, and its quick drive abilities activates, increasing its speed from the electric terrain. Iron Valiant uses close combat, and it kills Blissey. And skill has 4 Pokemon now, 4 Pokemon left. Factious might win here, but we don't know what else skill might have up on his sleeve. And Goldango hits the field. It does take some damage from the Stealth Rocks, but not a lot. And now Heatran hits the field, does take damage from the Stealth Rock, and Goldango uses Shadow Ball, and it's a critical hit on Heatran, and it dies. Now Factious has 5 Pokemon left. Tapu Koko comes out, takes damage from the Stealth Rock, sets up the Electric Surge. And now another Tapu Koko enters the field and takes damage from the Thunderbolt from Factious Tapu Koko. And now Featherfall hits the field. Tapu Koko uses Volt Switch. Yeah, and now Komodo hits the field. And now Factious brings out Iron Valiant once again, with its quick drive activating, but gets hit by a flamethrower. Luckily Iron Valiant survives it, but it might not outspeed here with it being paralyzed. And now Komodo uses Flamethrower, which kills Iron Valiant. Now Factious has 4 Pokemon left. And we'll wait to see what Factious will bring out against this Komodo. And now Tapu Koko comes out onto the field. And some bit from Winnie that said both challengers also has 4 mons left. So Factious would most likely outspeed and kill Komodo, but Skill would probably switch Komodo, and he does switch Komodo into Goldango. Goldango tanks the Dazzling Gleam, and the electricity disappears from the battlefield. Coco uses Dazzling Gleam, and it does not kill unfortunate Goldango. Goldango uses Recover to regain itself up to 56%. Goldango only has like 4 or 3 PP left on Recover, if I'm correct. Coco gets switched out into Ferrophone. It does like damage from the Stealth Rocks, and Goldango uses another Recover, getting up back to max health. Now Goldango uses Shadow Ball, and luckily Ferrophone survives on 2 HP. And Ferrophone, Goldango gets hit by knockoff, it does some bit of damage. Goldango uses another Recover to go back to full health. And Ferrophone uses another knockoff, which gets the critical hit on it. Goldango uses Recover again to get back to full HP. Another knockoff comes. Goldango uses Shadow Ball, and Ferrophone is out. Factious now has 3 Pokemon left. Skill Drive has 4 Pokemon left. And Factious brings out Ogerpon once again. Ogerpon does take damage from the Stealth Rocks, but not a lot. Ogre Pawn uses Sword Stance, raising its attack by +4. But Ogre Pawn does take some damage from a shell ball that does 53.8%. And Factious uses Ivy Clutch, aka Ogre Pawn, and it was a critical hit, and Goldango's out. And Skill now has 2 Pokemon left. If Factious can keep this up with Ogre Pawn until the next 2 months, he wins. And now Komodo hits the field and takes a bit of damage from the Stealth Rocks. And Factious Ogre Pawn uses Ivy Clutch, but Komodo survives and uses its Z move. Clan Nectar's Soul Blaze, and Ogre Pawn is out. Factious now has 2 Pokemon left. And with Komodo's Z move being activated, all its stats now get 1+ buff. Except for evasion. Factious might be in trouble here with Komodo's all its stats on +1 now. And now Landorus hits the field, lowering Komodo's attack. Back to its regular start. It's now. But Landorus dies to Komodo. Now Factious has 1 Pokemon left, but with Komodo using its move, it lowers its defense stat. Tapu Koko hits the field and it dies with the Stealth Rock. And Skill Drive wins. 1 point to Cobbletwo and 1 point to Cobblemon Dystoira. No. And now we wait for whose turn it is to select the next format, or singles or doubles.
I'm gonna switch. I'm gonna listen to by the opponents real quick.
And now it's time for Dystoria to choose the next format. In the meantime, we'll go over to Goldango, the referee, flipping the coins. And Goldango chose tails.
Someone said yes.
Goldango, all Dystoria winners, if we get hits, let me know.
Bro was horrified.
I mean, I do like tails so much.
Goldango chose tails. We're doomed.
Good lead. In doubles, like.
And looks like Dystoria has chosen the next format to be singles once again for this third round. Now we wait to see who Dystoria will pick to go next for the singles. And the same with Cobbletwo. And Child DI sacrificed himself once again so Dystoria can try and win. Come down. And so Dystoria has chosen Ribbon to represent them, aka the electric type gym leader. And now we'll see who Cobbletwo will pick. And looks like Cobbletwo has picked Dexteria. Now we wait for them to send their team so we can take a look at it. We don't know what movesets they'll have, we'll know their Pokemon and maybe what abilities. It also looks like we'll have a special match here from Cobblemon Dystoira's Electric type gym leader Ribbon versus Textier, aka Cobbletwo's Grass type gym leader. Two gym leaders from two different servers. Who will win? That's the question. Nothing about the replays. About. Okay, here it is, the censored version. Let me get that out quickly. Window. I'm not. That's the wrong one. I keep pressing the wrong fucking one. Okay, now here we have. Whose team is this? Here we have Riven's team. It is Pitchrunk, King Gambit, Urshifu, Rapid Strike, Zapdos, Diancie, and Iron Valiant. And now let me get out the other person's team that's censored. And here we have the other gym leaders spoke. Wait, I'm trying to fix this. Yeah, something's happening. Right, sorry guys, I'm having technical difficulties here. Let's try. Anyway, so after I got that fixed, here's the other opponent's team from Cobbletwo. They have Gliscor, Ferrothorn, Ogerpon, Wellspring, Landorus, Varian, Goldango, and Breloom. And now we wait for both. Now the match will begin. Now we see which Pokemon will lead off with. And Riven leads off with Picturant. And Texter leads off with Landorus. Landorus, Picturant does lose its attack by 1. But Picturant's more of a special attacker than physical. Now we wait to see what they will both do. And for some reason there's a Hisui and Zoroark on the battlefield. And now, Picturant uses its Z Crystal Power move. And it is never-ending Nightmare, which does decent damage on Landorus, but Landorus lives it. Picturant gets hit by knockoff, but at least it still lives. Picturant uses Nasty Pot to increase its special attack by 2. Landorus uses Earthquake, which kills Picturant. Riven has 5 Pokemon left now. And Text has 6 Pokemon. Now, Riven brings out Urshifu. Landorus gets swaps out into Fairform. Urshifu uses U-turn, but gets hit by Landorus's Iron Barbs and... not Landorus, Fairform's Iron Barbs and Rocky Helmet. And now Diancie hits the field. And now Ogerpon hits the field and Diancie Mega evolves into Mega Diancie. Diancie uses Mystical Fire on Ogerpon, lowering its special attack by 1. Diancie gets swapped out into Zapdos now. Only clutch hits Zapdos, but it luckily tanks it. But loses 45.4% HP. And now Landorus hits the field once again. Intimidate goes onto Zapdos. Zapdos uses Roost to heal itself up to full health. And now Zapdos comes out. Zapdos goes away, and King Gambit comes out with its ability Supreme Overlord activating. King Gambit does lose its item, the leftovers, though. Landorus gets swapped out into Fairphone, hits the field also again. Now King Gambit also gets swapped out into Urshifu. Now both Pokemon from a couple of matches ago are back on the field together. Urshifu uses U-turn, gets hit by the Rocky Helmet and Iron Bulbs. Fairphone does take a bit of damage. Diancie hits the field again, but Diancie gets hit by a Gyro Ball, which kills it. Now Ribbon has 4 Pokemon left. Or was it 5? I cannot remember. I'm trying to keep track. And now Zapdos hits the field once again. And now Fairphone gets switched out into Landorus. Zapdos uses Heat Wave. It does some decent damage on Landorus, but not a lot. Zapdos uses Hurricane and it kills Landorus. Now, Text has 4 Pokemon left. And Ribbon has 3. No, 4 left also. Zapdos uses Hurricane on Gliscor, but it missed. Oh, I forgot that Gliscor comes out. But now Gliscor poisons Zapdos. Zapdos gets switched out into Urshifu, lands a field. Gliscor uses Protect, but it failed. But its ability Poison Heal activates because of its Poison Orb that it has. Gliscor uses protecting itself. Urshifu tries to use close combat, but it does still work because of its ability, Unseen Fist. But Urshifu does lose its defense and special defense a bit by 1. And Gliscor gets healed from the poison with its ability. Urshifu gets swapped out into Zapdos once again. And Ogerpon Wellspring now hits the field also. Zapdos does get hurt by the poison. Ogerpon uses Ivory Clutch, but Zapdos luckily survives it. Zapdos uses Hurricane, but it misses on Ogerpon, and Zapdos gets hurt more by the poison. Ogerpon uses Ivory Clutch and kills Zapdos. And now, Riven has 3 Pokemon left. Iron Valiant hits the field, and with its boosted energy item, its speed's increased. And now we want to see what both battlers will do. Because since Iron Valiant's got a speed boost here with its Photosynthesis ability, it could easily outspeed and probably kill Ogerpon. Either if this is physical or special. But what's this? Ogerpon uses Spiky Shield, and Iron Valiant goes for Aura Sphere, but it does not work. Iron Valiant uses Moonblast, but Ogre Pawn survives, but it's also special attack is lower. But Iron Valiant gets hit by Ivy Crush, so it also survives. Ogre Pawn on 14% HP and Iron Valiant on 24%. Iron Valiant uses a Moonblast and it kills Ogre Pawn. Now, Tex has 4 Pokemon left or 3. Because I should probably keep track of these numbers. And now Goldango hits the field. Iron Valiant gets switched out into King Gambit. King Gambit Supreme Overlord ability activates. Goldango uses Might Hit Rain. It does some damage on King Gambit, but Goldango loses a bit of its special attack by 1. Sorry, I got messed up. Let me just drink. King Gambit uses Pursuit on Goldango and Goldango is dead. And now Breloom hits the field. You most likely might see a priority punch and fight priority moves coming here. Mock Punch against Sucker Punch with King Gambit has it, and his Breloom has Mock Punch. Either that or Ribbon will either switch out King Gambit. Breloom uses Mach Punch and it kills King Gambit. Riven now has 2 Pokemon left. And now Urshifu hits the field once more. Breloom gets switched out into Ferrothorn. Urshifu uses U-turn but gets hit by the Rocky Helmet and Iron Barbs, leaving it on 40% HP. Iron Valiant hits the field once again. And Ferrothorn is left on 58% HP. And Iron Valiant uses Aura Sphere and kills Ferrothorn in one hit. Now we wait to see what next Pokemon text will bring in. And both players are now down to 2 Pokemon, with Iron Valiant being on 24% HP, and Gliscor hits the field once again. Most likely, Tix is going to use another Protect on Gliscor so it can get itself up with its Poison Heal ability. Either that, if they're going to do that, Riven might try and outsmart them to switch to Urshifu to use Surgeon Strike to kill Gliscor here. And it looks like the battler text might be AFK right now, since it said it in chat. Now Urshifu hits the field. Gliscor uses Protect, but it fails. Its Poison Heal ability activates. Now one thing here Tix could do is just switch into Breloom, and then it will tank the Surgeon Strikes from Urshifu. Urshifu uses Ice Spinner and kills Gliscor. Now takes us down to one Pokemon, which is Breloom. But the Mach Punch from Breloom could easily kill Urshifu here, most likely. That was also a critical hit, that Ice Spinner. Breloom uses Mach Punch, and Urshifu is dead. 2 points to... Oh wait, nope, wrong, I'm stupid. Now Iron Valiant hits the field. I forgot about Iron Valiant, okay. Mach Punch hits again on Iron Valiant. Iron Valiant survives. One Breloom. Breloom almost kills Shroomish, not Breloom, but it survives with its Focus Sash on HP. One Mach Punch kills Iron Valiant, and Cobbletwo wins with 2 points and Dystoria with 1. So this is it, folks. Always trust in Breloom with a Focus Sash. Now we will wait for either it's going to be Dystoria or Cobbletwo who picks the next format. Because for these past 3 rounds we've seen lots of singles, no doubles just yet. And for those who are wondering, the doubles is not 6v6 doubles, it's VGC style, so 4v4. And now Dystoria will choose the next format. In the meantime, while we wait for Dystoria to pick, we'll go with good old Goldango here flipping a coin. And Goldango chose Skulls. And for those who are wondering who won day 1, it was Cobbletwo. Forgot to mention that earlier. And so, Dystoria has now chose VGC, aka doubles. And looks like Cobbletwo has chose Grizz to be coming up next. And now looks like Dystoria chose Green Pixel, who won them last night a point in doubles. If Green Pixel can get Dystoria another point, then it's 2-on-2 for Cobbletwo and Dystoria. And we now have both servers' mascots here supporting. On Dystoria's side, we have Dystoria's mascot, Mimikyu, and on Cobbletwo's side, we have Mewtwo. And apparently Green Pixel was the old water-type gym leader of Dystoria. Now we wait for the poker place to be sent and see what they both have to offer. We can see what both teams are. I thought I. Yeah, because I thought it. No, I thought it was day. I thought day 3 was Monday. If I check the thing in announcements. For the thing of it. I'll check after the stream. It looks like now we can look at both challengers' Pokemons. The team sheets are posted and I'm pulling them up right now. If the thing wants to work, please. I have to every time reset this freaking thing on OBS because it does not want to work the browser for it. And now, here we are. Here's the VGC team sheet that we have. Obviously, we already saw the Pixels team last night, but here it is for those who don't know. We have Calyrex Shadow, Miraidon, Whimsicott, Urshifu Rapid Strike, Iron Hands, and Incineroar. Now let me pull up the other team sheet. Now this is Crazy Sam's team sheet. I'm wrong person. This is Green Pixel's team sheet. Zamazenta Crown, Calyrex Shadow also, Incineroar, Whimsicott, Raging Bolt, and Urshifu Rapid Strike. Sorry, I messed it up. Because I thought, okay, see, Calyrex Shadow. Oh, okay. Nope, messed it up. But did I show it right? Here's the teams. I keep messing this up a lot. But yeah, this is what the teams are. And now we wait for both challengers to begin. Whenever they are ready. And looks like both opponents' battlers are ready, and the match has begun. And let's send out the Pokemon. And now it begins. Green Pixel leads off with Raging Bolt and Zamazenta Crown, and Grizzly leads off with Calyrex Shadow Rider and Whimsicott. Zamazenta's ability activates, increasing its defense stat, and Raging Bolt's Photosynthesis activates, increasing its special attack with its booster energy item. Now Raging Bolt is itemless. Okay, protect is being used. Raging Bolt tank gets hit by Moonblast when it tanks it. Behavior Bash does not work on Calyrex. And Raging Bolt's Electro Wave doesn't work also on Calyrex, but it does work on Whimsicott, lowering its speed stat by 1. No, it did not lower. Did it lower its? No, it did not lower its speed. I forgot. Okay. Zamazenta uses Wildcard. And Whimsicott uses Fight Tears on Zamazenta, decreasing its special defense. Calyrex uses Psychic on Zamazenta, but luckily Zamazenta lives on 20% HP. Electro Whip hits both Calyrex and Whimsicott. Calyrex speed falls by 1. But unfortunately, it does look like I missed something that looks like the Electro Whip did miss the Whimsicott. Also, trying to keep track of everything here on the Minecraft chat and on the Battle Bulk. Calyrex Shadow gets swapped out into Miraidon, hits the field, making the electric terrain be set up. Zamazenta gets hit by a Moonblast and is out. Green Pixel now has 2 Pokemon left. Whimsicott gets hit by a Thunderbolt and it lives still, on 40% HP. Now Green Pixel brings out his own Calyrex Shadow. And now Incineroar enters the field, lowering the attacks at both. Calyrex uses Protect. Whimsicott sets up Tailwind. And Miraidon uses Dazzling Gleam. It hits Incineroar, but not Calyrex being protected by the Protect. Try heal. And now Miraidon gets switched out for Calyrex Shadow. Incineroar uses Fake Out, but it does not work on Calyrex Shadow. Now Calyrex uses Encore. And other Calyrex uses Protect, but it failed. Oh, no, wait, no, Whimsicott is something that used Encore on Calyrex. My bad, y'all. Now Calyrex Shadow gets swapped out into Rising Bolt. Calyrex Shadow uses Astral Barrage, Rising Bolts on 11 HP. Incineroar gets hit by Moonblast. And Calyrex Shadow on Grizzly's side is out. Now both Grizzly and Green Pixel are left on 2 Pokemon. Miraidon sets up another electric terrain, but it doesn't work. Now Raging Ball can easily die here, most likely from it, or unless it does Protect. Incineroar can also die here from Electro Shift from Miraidon. And now Iron Hands hits the fields and gets boosted from its Quick Drop ability, which increases in attack. And Calyrex comes onto the field once again from Green Pixel side. Calyrex gets hit by Electro Drift from Miraidon and hits out. Now Green Pixel has only 1 Pokemon left. Green Pixel brings out Incineroar once again, getting an Intimidate off on Iron Hands and Miraidon. Green Pixel forfeited the battle for this round, and Grizzly Bear wins. Who knows if there's a reason why Green Pixel decided to forfeit for the first round. Now, for the second round, if Green Pixel can get one win, then there's tie. But if Grizzly gets 1 win, then they win this round, match 4 of VGC. And now Green Pixel said we'll see what different ones he decides he's going to use this time from his team sheet. Or if he's going to use the same ones. And they begin. Both Calyrex Shadows and Whimsicots hit the field. This is a mirror match here, folks. Except for one thing, the other Whimsicott is shiny and the other one's not. That's the difference. Now we shall see how this mirror match will go. We'll probably expect 2 tailwinds from both Whimsicott and 2 Astral Barrages from both Calyrexes. Unless one of the Calyrexes or Whimsicots are faster. It will depend on either that or it's going to be a speed tie here to see who will take the lead with their damage roll. The dice roll of it and speed. And Calyrex Shark gets swapped out for Incineroar. Incineroar hits the field using Intimidate on both Whimsicott and Calyrex. Calyrex Shark uses Astro Barrage. It does hit Whimsicott and Incineroar. Incineroar does not take that much damage, but Whimsicott does. Whimsicott uses Moonblast on Calyrex. Calyrex takes a bit of damage from it. Also forgot this, I forgot to say the one other Whimsicott set up Tailwind, so now they can move faster. I will wait to see what next moves are going to do here. Because obviously one shot here from Calyrex can kill this Whimsicott. Unless Pixel decides to switch Whimsicott out for something else. Incineroar can probably tank a Moonblast and Astral Barrage from both Whimsicott and Calyrex. Either that or Green Pixel might terrestrialize here. So many options we can see that can come here right now, who knows? And Whimsicott, Green Pixel's Whimsicott terrestrializes into a Dark type. And now, Grizzlies tries to use Encore on Green Pixel's Whimsicott, but it does not work. It does not work since Gen 7 Dark type is immune to prankster moves. Incineroar uses knockoff on Calyrex and Grizzly Bears Calyrex is out. Miraidon hits the field, setting up electric terrain. And now Miraidon terrestrializes into a Fairy type. Whimsicott tries to use Fake Tears on Incineroar, but does not work. And Miraidon uses Dazzling Gleam, which kills Whimsicott, but Incineroar survives on 50% HP. Now Incineroar uses U-turn on Whimsicott, and Somacenta Crown has entered the field, with its ability increasing its defense stat. And now Calyrex Shadow has also entered the field once again. Now the mirror match has ended here, folks, even though they ended a while back with Incineroar on the field. Miraidon gets switched out into On Hands. Iron Hands' attack is boost. And now Calyrex uses Nasty Plot to boost its special attack. And Whimsicott is hit by Behemoth back from Zomazenta, and it's now dead. And now Miraidon enters the field once again. And now Iron Hands uses Fake Out on Zomazenta. Calyrex uses Astro Barrage, which kills Miraidon, and with its Gremlin ability activates, boosts its special attack, but does lose some health with its Life Orb. And Greasing Sun forfeit the battle, so it's now 1 point for both. This will be the final match in this round to see who wins. If Green Pixel wins, Dystoria gets 2 points. If Grizz wins, then Cobbletwo gets 4 points. Right. Is this where he's been this entire time, Sky? He's just there up chilling where no one can see him. And now the battle has started. Green Pixel leads over Calyrex, Shadow, and Incineroar, and Grizzly Bear with Urshifu and Whimsicott. Incineroar's ability Intimidate lowers both Urshifu and Whimsicott's attack by 1. And now we wait to see what both will do. And Urshifu terrestrializes into a ghost type. Incineroar tries to use Fake Out on Urshifu, but it does not work. Whimsical Subtile Wind for it and Urshifu. Urshifu uses Insurgent Strikes on Calyrex and it gets 3 critical hits, which kills it. Somacenta enters the field with its ability activated, increasing its defense. But Urshifu might be in trouble here, since Incineroar definitely knows knockoff. Even with the tailwind up. Yeah. It's possible for Urshifu to get another big crit count roll on Incineroar than Incineroar state. Even though its attack is lower. We'll have to see how this goes, how RNG decides it. And now Incineroar terrestrializes into a grass type. Incineroar gets Encore on from Whimsicott. Urshifu uses Surgeon Strikes on Somacenta and it gets 3 more critical hits again, but Somacenta survives still. And now Whimsicott is on 4% HP. And Incineroar tries Fake Out, but it cannot. Tries to use the other move for Fake Out, but it cannot because of its Encore. I've been encore. Thanks to the save from Whimsicot's encore, Urshifu still luckily survives. And now, Green Pixel switches out Incineroar for their own Whimsicott. Certain Strikes goes on Zamazenta, and it gets 2 critical hits and it's dead. Now, Incineroar has entered the field again, lowering Urshifu's attack more. Urshifu gets switched out into Miraidon, which hits up the electric terrain. And now Fake Out goes on Incineroar, lowering its special defense, and now Green Pixel sets up their own Tailwind. And the knockoff goes onto Miraidon, making its choice pick Spee away. And now Whimsicott tries to use Tailwind, but it already failed. And Grizzly Sums Whimsicott also uses Tailwind. And now Miraidon uses Dazzling Gleam on both. Incineroar uses another knockoff on Kyogre, but does not Kyogre in Miraidon, and does not do lots of damage. I hate that I have to nickname their Miraidon Kyogre. Because now it's confusing me. What's more play than nicknaming Kyogre? Trying to confuse people. And now Whimsicott must do an encore, and Incineroar dies to a Draco Meteor from Miraidon. Green Pixel's Whimsicott is still encore, trying to set up a Tailwind, but it does not work. And Green Pixel forfeits the battle. And now 4 points to Cobbletwo and 1 point to Cobblemon Dystoira. Now we might do one final match, like a match 5, where the next format will be picked. Either by Cobbletwo or Dystoria. It's gonna either be VGC doubles or singles OU. Sacrifices. And now the Dystoria will decide the next format. And Dystoria has decided that much quickly on doubles. Now we'll see who Dystoria will pick and Cobbletwo to go on next. It looks like Cobbletwo is choosing Jeff Michael to go up. And Dystoria will now choose either Feral or Saint. And it looks like Cobblemon Dystoira has chosen the water type gym leader as this, aka one of the substitutes, Shadow DA, for this doubles match. Now we wait for their poker pace to see what they have, so I can show you all, then the match will begin whenever they're ready. Let me just make sure I have this ready. But first, let's play some Goldango coin flip with Goldango. Goldango, will Dystoria winning 3 tiles? Nope. Eights. 8. Goldango has been weird. Last night he was keep hitting his tiles like 6 times when we were trying to get Cobbletwo to go first. Looks like the battle will start if they send their poker pace in general yet. Nope, still being typed out by Boney. Not Boney, Winnie. No, that's not on, that's not. Okay, now we'll look at their teams. Let me pull up it. First up, we have Jeff Beigel's team, which consists of Kyogre, Miraidon, Sneasler, Iron Hands, Urshifu, Rapid Strike, and Tornadus, not in variant form. Now, let me get Shadow DA's team. Shadow DA's team consists of Miraidon, Ho-Oh, Iron Freds, Frigidaire, Iron Bundle, and Iron Hands. We've seen lots of paradoxes in this team. Look at the iron ones. Now we'll move this away. Now we know what the Pokemon are. We'll see how the plays go while we wait for them to get ready. I mean, while they're waiting, we can probably say more of their teams to see what they have. So here is what Jeff Beigel's team has. Kyogre with the item Mystic Water, Terra-type Grass, Thunder, Ice Beam, Protect, Orange Impulse, Miraidon with Convert Cloak, and the match is beginning. And Shadow starts off with Iron Bundle and Miraidon, and Jeff Beigel starts off with Kyogre and Tornadus. And now with the electric terrain up, Iron Bundle's ability Quick Drive activates, increasing its speed, while the rain is up. Kyogre uses Protect, and Tornadus sets up a Tailwind. Iron Bundle uses Icy Wind. It hits hard on Thunderous, not Thunderous, Tornadus. Miraidon tries to use Volt Switch on Kyogre, but it does not work, and I gotta move a bit outward because of how big this well is. And Kyogre terrestrializes into a grass type. Iron Bundle uses Icy Wind, it outspeeds the Tailwind. Luckily Kyogre survives, but unfortunately Tornadus is down. Now, Jeff Beigel has only 2 Pokemon left. Orange Impulse hits Iron Bundle and Miraidon. Iron Bundle's on 10% HP, and Miraidon 60%. Miraidon uses Volt Switch and switches out into Ho-Oh. And Urshifu arrives on the scene. We have now 3 turns of rain and electric terrain left on the field. Iron Bundle might outspeed here, it outspeeds the entire Tailwind team. So unless you can try and kill Urshifu with a move that it has. Or they can try and use Ice Beam. And what's this? Oh, also terrestrializes into a grass type. Kyogre uses Protect. And Urshifu uses U-turn on Iron Bundle with killing it. Now Shadow has 2 Pokemon left. And Urshifu gets swapped out into Iron Hands. Oh, uses Brave Bird on Iron Hands. So Iron Hands tanks it, but takes some recoil damage from the Brave Bird. And now Iron Fist enters the field, increasing its speed with its ability. One Origin Pulse from Kyogre could kill Iron Fist here unless it outspeeds in the Tailwind. Iron Hands uses Fake Out on Ho-Oh. And High Horsepower goes on to Iron Hands and it's out. Origin Pulse hits Iron Fist and now it's also out. Now both have 2 Pokemon left. Or it's 1. They both have 1 Pokemon left. No, it's 2, I'm stupid. And both Miraidon and Urshifu hit the field. We have 1 more turn of Rain and Electric Terrain or Rift. Urshifu uses Close Combat on Miraidon. And Miraidon is out. Now it's only Ho-Oh left on the field. Brave Bird hits Kyogre, and Kyogre is out. Now it's only Urshifu and Ho-Oh left. And the Rain and the Electric Terrain has disappeared. Yeah, this is a 1v1 here. Urshifu uses Close Combat on Ho-Oh, and Ho-Oh is out. And so 1 point to Jeff Bagel and none to Shadier. Now we'll see what I'll do for the second round. Will they switch mons or use the same one? If Bagel wins this, then Cobbletwo gets a point. But if Shadier wins this, then they are both tied with 1 point. Then it will be to the third round to decide who gets the final point. Now both are ready, we shall see what I'll do. And now it will begin. Shadier sends out Miraidon and Iron Bundle once again, and Iron Hands comes on the first lead with Tornadoes. The Electric Terrain is set up. Quick Drive activates on Iron Bundle, increasing its speed, and it also activates on Iron Hands, increasing its attack. And now Iron Hands terrestrializes into a Steel type. And Tornadoes uses Protect. Iron Bundle also uses Protect. Iron Miraidon tries to use full Volt Switch on Tornadoes, but it does not work. Miraidon gets hit by a bulldoze, lowering its speed. And also losing 50% of its HP. Miraidon gets switched out for Ho-Oh, lands on the field. Tornado sets up a Tailwind. Iron Bundle uses Encore on Tornadoes. Another bulldoze hits, but it hits Iron Bundle lowering its speed, but does not work on Ho-Oh. Now Tornadus is stuck on the encore of Tailwinds, unless Jeff Bagel switches it out into Aldermon to end the encore. Tornadus gets switched out for Kyogre once again, hits the field for a second time this round. Encore goes again, now on Iron Hands. Ho-Oh uses Tailwind. A Bulldoze hits both Kyogre and Iron Bundle. Now Jeff Bagel's got to switch on and Zelda in its encore unless they're going to try and keep it on the field. But if they do keep doing that, Kyogre will keep getting hit also by Bulldoze, even though Iron Hands also gets hit by it. And Iron Hands gets swapped out for Tornadus. And Kyogre gets hit by a Freeze Dry and by a Brave Bird, and Kyogre is out. Jeff Bagel has now 2 Pokemon left. Oh, does take some recall damage from Brave Bird though. Now, Iron Hands enters the field once again with Quick Drive activating, raising its attack. And now Ho-Oh terrestrializes into a grass type. Tornadus uses Bleak Windstorm that takes out Iron Bundle, but Ho-Oh lives on 50% HP. Sacred Fire gets hit on to Iron Hands and it gets a burn, but it still lives. Wild Charge goes onto Ho-Oh. Iron Hands does take some recall from it, but not too much damage for Ho-Oh from it. Now the Electric Terrain has ended. Iron Fridge hits the field. Every Pokemon will left that each has a right. Because I messed up the counting once again. Oh, uses Protect. And Tornado sets up a Tailwind. Iron Fridge uses High Horsepower on Iron Hands. Iron Hands is out. Iron Hands loses some of its HP because it's Life Orb. And now Urshifu hits the scene. With the Tailwind up, Urshifu can now easily kill Iron Fridge or Ho-Oh here. The same with Tornadus, you can easily also kill Ho-Oh here now. Close combat goes on to Iron Fridge. Iron Fridge is dead. Urshifu loses a bit of special defense and defense. Another Bleak Windstorm hits Ho-Oh and Ho-Oh is dead. And the rain has stopped. Shadow only now has 1 Pokemon left, and that's Miraidon. So this is now a 2v1. Close combat goes on to Miraidon. And Miraidon is out. 2 points for Jeff Bagel and 0 points for Shadi, and that means Cobbletwo has now 4 points, and Dystoira 1. No, 5. No, because we won Dystoria 1 match 1 and this is match 5. So yeah, Cobbletwo has 4 points and Dystoria 1. Thanks, Winnie. Yeah, so Cobbletwo wins with 4 points and Dystoria 1. And I'll be right back in a sec, folks. Okay, and I am now back. And that is it for the tournament today. The replays will also be up in a bit. So yeah, this is it for day 2 of this. I'll check quickly what time day 3 is. Let me go to the Discord and check. Okay, so day 3 is Tuesday. I thought it was tomorrow, Monday, but no. So it will be Tuesday at 10 p.m. in UK time and 5 p.m. in American USA time. Okay, also 11 p.m. for me. So yeah, I'll be up until 1 a.m. for this to be your announcer. But anyways, I hope you all enjoyed the stream, and Phantom I shall sign in off as your announcer for this tournament. Bye bye.